and I am from Odisha. Right now, I am here in Bhubaneswar. It is the capital of Odisha state. So the purpose of staying here only to learn German language and English language as well. And I'm preparing for you can say MBBS and BSc nursing between two. I can do one in Germany because I'm planning to be settled there. And I'm keen on playing basketball, talking to the stranger, as well as reading books. That's all about myself.
Yeah, that's great. Okay, so Anuj, as you told me that you are learning German and English simultaneously. So what do you think? What is the which language is difficult to learn, English or German, according to you?
Okay, and just now I talked to one sir, one teacher, you can say. So he also asked the same question. Yes, ma'am. Definitely, I will say German language is very difficult for us because you know that very well. From the childhood itself, we are learning English, and we are means we have so many vocabs from childhood, and in our schooling time, college times also we learn, and even. The market or among us means we speak sometimes, but German there is no one who can speak with me, who can talk with me, and it is a totally new language for me. Means every words, every sentence, every vocabs, all are new for me. So definitely I will say that German language is very difficult for me, and English is very easy. I can say it is like cup of tea for me, I can say nowadays, because nowadays I can express myself and my thoughts as well.
Yeah, that's great. Okay, so tell me one thing more. When did you think about learning English, and how did you take your first step towards English?
Okay. Do you know, ma'am, I studied in Odia medium school. Okay. So up to 10th. And there I was taught English subject as well. But it is not like spoken English. It was like subject. So somehow I learned something in my schooling time. But I did not understand at that time the value of English language. So I was just good. I was good at you can say mathematics along with that science. So I just preferred studying that and not like English, all those things. And when I went for my plus two study, I mean intermediate. So at that time I realized something because I studied science. So all subjects were my in English, but it was Hindi medium college. Okay, so my teachers, they were also teaching in Hindi, and it was difficult for me to understand, to write, to read out very properly in that subjects books. That time only I started learning, but not like speaking, not like fluent English, all those things. But you can say that there are so many teachers, so many students, they know how to read, how to write, how to understand, but they can't speak. So that the same thing was with me because I learned English, but no, there was no practice of speaking. And after intermediate, I mean plus two only, I started real my English journey, you can say. There, like I was preparing for MBBS, and along with that I learned English. And there was no friend whom I could talk in English. So but later I got one friend that one of my friends, he can talk English, so we both started learning. And do you know how I started? I was like reading any kind of story books, at least one story per day. After reading that story, I was writing in my notebook, and after writing that notebook also I was reading like 3 to 4 times, because while writing also we make so many mistakes. And after reading what I understood, the same thing I was I used to speak front of the mirror, okay, front of the mirror while recording the video. And later I was listening, and I was sometimes I was laughing a lot, some time I was enjoying a lot while listening my voice, my video. But whenever I got and I faced like I'm making mistakes, so I just interrupted myself and I recorrect those sentences. So I did like two months like that, and after that I started talking to the people in the Skype app. And it is not even 2 months that I'm talking to the people, and nowadays I can say I'm little good at English, and I can express all my thoughts, all my imagination, what I really want to say. Yeah, that is my English journey, you can say.
It's amazing that I heard about your English journey. So that's great journey. That like your right age, you have understood about the value of the speaking English, because learning English, we know that from our childhood we are learning English, but how to speak we are not giving our effort for speaking, and we don't know the value of speaking English. So that's great. Okay, so tell me one thing more, that how do you learn vocabulary and how do you use that vocabulary in your communication skills?
Okay. As I told that I used to read a storybook. So in the storybook, you will get so many vocabs. So those those vocabs only I learned and I used to speak whilst communicating. But nowadays, do you know, as I mentioned that earlier, that I'm preparing for German language as well as some competitive exam. So I have no much time and I have no time for learning English and vocabs and grammar, all those things. So nowadays I just do one thing, that I do the conversation video. Okay. And while communicating, and the other person, if he is speaking good English or but means whatever it is, but sometimes the the vocabulary
Yeah,
what we do not know, the other person he or she knows. So I just observe them how they are speaking, which kind of words they are using, all those things, and I try to learn by them.
yeah, that's great. A thing that you have do, because you don't have sufficient time for learning vocabulary and German language simultaneously. So you are doing best thing that whenever you are conversing people, so you are just taking one vocab from them and you are trying to speak that vocab. Okay. So when did you start speaking English or learning English? As you told me that you are from Odia medium, your study, right? So, like, what would you prefer to those people who are just thinking about learning English? That how they can start their journey, with grammar or with sentences, small sentences, or watching TV in English? Like, what would you prefer them?
Okay, ma'am. I will suggest that uh, the beginners or those who really want to learn English, they must start from speaking. Okay, from speaking, they must uh, begin their English journey, because do you know, there are so many teachers, you can say even professional, means they know the whole part about grammar, and so
Grammar.
many, yeah, so many vocabs they have. But while it comes to speaking, no, they can't speak, because I have imagined that and I have experienced, because do you know, I have like two, three teachers. They are like my friends as well. They are teaching English subject. I mean, they are teaching grammar, English books, all those things, but they can't speak very properly. So they asked me that how you are able to speak. You are a student and even you have just done your plus two. Still you are speaking good English, but we are facing so many problems while speaking. So I will say that people, they must begin from speaking, because as much as we can speak, we will be getting lots of sentences, lots of vocabs to express, to share all our thoughts. If we are not speaking and just running after grammar, vocab, sentences, all those things, that is not going to help us at all to speak English. What I say, that's why I will suggest only one thing, that is speaking, or try to open your mouth, because you know so many things from your childhood. And do you know,
Yes.
suppose your mother tongue Hindi in is Hindi, and I will ask some questions in English, you can't translate in Hindi, because from childhood we have been using that in English, such as mobile, fan, and so many things.
Yeah.
That's why I will say we know English, okay, but the thing that we have no facility, we and lack of speaking skill is there. That is the problem.
Yeah, that's true. One of my friends, she was doing PhD in English, and she was unable to speak English. So
Yeah.
that is truth, because her focus was in a written portion and learning all the things, but she was not able to speak and she was not practicing, because like if she was doing a PhD, so definitely speaking was a must part there, or speaking must there, but she didn't. Okay, so apart from that, what about intonation or intonation, voice modulation while we are speaking? So you will learn in German as well that we can't speak in one flow. Sometimes voice up, sometimes down. So how do you learn this? Or pronunciation, because pronunciation must whenever we are speaking. If you speak wrong word, so it means different. The pronunciation is must. So how do you focus, or how do you learn pronouncing, that how can I pronounce word properly?
Okay. First thing, do you know, it is very difficult to learn pronunciation. You can learn English, okay, but it is really difficult to learn pronunciation because from earlier, like there are so many students. They are from Odia medium school, and some are from Hindi medium, some are from Bangla medium. So when it comes to English language, it is very difficult to pronounce, and because we are not addicted, even you can say we are not adapted in this language. So
Yeah,
if we really want to improve our pronunciation, we must watch some videos, and we must listen them very carefully, that how they are pronouncing, how they are pronounce each word, and the the style they follow to pronounce, and the you can say accent and syllable. So if we are able to follow that, and if we are practicing, because our pronunciation depends on our lips and tongue. So if we are able
yes,
to
so
move according to the sentence or according to the word, I can say that we can improve. And I can admit that my pronunciation is also not good. I know that very well. But what shall I do? Nowadays, I have no much time to practice, but I'm
yeah,
trying. I'm trying.
gradually you will learn pronunciation as well, because our first focus of learning English, that we have to learn English and then pronunciation as well. As of now, I can say that your pronunciation is okay, that at least you are able to convey your message to me, so that's a great thing. Okay, so last question from my side, Anuj, last but not the least, that before we wrap up, I would like to know one question. What's one myth about learning English that you would like to debunk? Like, what myth? My question is that sometimes there is a myth that English is not we can't learn it without grammar, so we have to learn firstly grammar, and sometimes the different. Okay, whenever you speak English, so definitely you have need for a trainer in your initial stage. So these types of myth. So according to you, like how will you debunk that myth that English is okay? You can speak, you can learn without trainer, you can speak, or English is not a daunting task for us that we can't speak, we can speak. Like you can give any tip, simple tip, final tip to our audience that who are just thinking about learning English but they are not able to speak. You
Okay.
got my question?
Yes, I got your
It's a
question.
long question.
Yeah, I think that you want to ask that there are so many beginners. They are trying to learn English, but they are not able to learn. Am I right?
Yeah, and another thing is that sometimes the myth. I just want to would like to explain myth. Myth is that sometimes we are thinking that okay, firstly I'll learn entire grammar and then I will speak, and then I'll speak fluent English. So this is a myth. Like people are just thinking that firstly I have to learn grammar, then I'll speak. No, we can't. Whatever, we can just start speaking. Okay, and
Okay.
another question is that you can give any tip that how they
Okay.
can start speaking.
Okay. I want to say one motivational talk also here, because see, practice makes a man perfect, that we know, and we also know that human beings all are not perfect. All are not perfect, and even human beings, they make mistake, and our mistakes are proof that we are trying. And if somebody is trying to learn whole entire grammar, and after that if he is trying to speak English, so I will say that it is not going to help him out, because do you know, spoken English and grammar, it is very totally different. And if he learned everything, suppose he or she learned everything grammar, and while speaking, if he or she is not able to use that grammar, he or she will be thinking that I'm not good at English, I can't speak, I must give up. So because of that, I want to say, forget about grammar, all those things. Try to speak, and when you started speaking, and if you're able to speak something, you start learning grammar and modify your English, polish your English. But earlier, please don't run after grammar, all those things. But in the first only, means while learning spoken English, we must focus on preposition, because it is very required, it is a required thing. Only preposition I will say, and if it is possible you learn subject preposition, that is enough. And
Verb, verb as well. Verb as well.
yeah,
And your
no,
initial stage. Yeah, yeah.
yeah, verb that will be coming automatic if you try to speak. And that some are there, they are giving up after learning 2 3 months, they think it is not cup of tea for me, it is not like piece of cake for me, and they are leaving. So I want to suggest them that if you are thinking that it is not cup of tea for you, and if you are living learning and you for you gave up, you will be realizing later. Because we know that to get there is no pain, if there is no pain, no gain. So for everything we have to bear with, we have to bear with, and we must learn. Suppose you try to learn 1 month, within 1 month, if it is not possible, give 2 months, not possible, give 3 months, and go like 1 year. Let it take 1 to 2 years, no matter, but you must learn. Because nowadays without language, without English, it is not possible to get any kind of job, not possible to migrate yourself, not possible to give any kind of interview, competitive exam, all those things. So yeah, in the innocent time, it is difficult to speak English, difficult to understand all those things, but we must try at least 5 to 6 months. Otherwise, it is not going to help us. And when we were child, okay, when we were child and children, we did not run after grammar, we did not run after all those things. By listening others, by trying to open our mouth, we learned our mother tongue and a native language. So why can't we in English language? We can't do it. But the thing that we have to try to speak, and we have to practice a lot.
Yes, that's great tip you have given our co-learners who are just thinking and but they are not taking first step towards speaking English. So that's nice to talk to you, Anuj, and you have given so many tips and ideas that how they can start, because consistency is the key of the success. Without consistency, you can't achieve your goal. And first, make a goal for yourself and then achieve your goal, and definitely gradually you will speak English. It will take time and you have to be patient about this language. Yeah, so nice to talk to you and thank you for giving your valuable time.
Okay, thank you so much, ma'am.
Yeah.